The Shooting of Dan McGrew by Robert Service.
Oh, cool.
A bunch of the boys were whooping it up in a Malamute saloon, and the kid that handles the music box was hitting a jagtime tune. And back at the bar, the solo games at Dangerous Dan McGrew, and watching his luck was the light of love, the lady that's known as Lou. When out of the night, which was 50 below, and into the din and the glare, there stumbled a miner fresh from the creeks, dog dirty and loaded for bear. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave, and scarcely the strength of a louse, but he tilted a poke of dust on the bar, and he called for drinks on the house. There was none could place the stranger's face, though we searched ourselves for a clue. But we drank his health, and the last to drink was Dangerous Dan McGrew. His eyes went rubbering round the room, and he seemed in a kind of a daze, till at last that old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. The ragtime kid was having a drink, there was no one else on the stool, so the stranger stumbles across the room and he plops down there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt he sat, and I saw him sway, and he touched the keys with his talon hands. My God, but that man could play. Were you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear and the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence you most could hear? With only the howl of a timber wolf and you camped there in the cold, us half-dead thing in a stark-dead world, clean mad for that mutt called gold. While high overhead, green, yellow, and red, the north lights swept in bars, then you've a hunch what the music meant, hunger and night and the stars. And hunger not of the belly kind, the Spanish with bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of a lonely man, for a home and all that it means. For a fireside far from the cares that are, four walls and a roof above, but oh so crammed full of cozy joy, and crowned with a woman's love. A woman dearer than all the world, and true as heaven is true. God, how ghastly she looks through her windows, the lady that's known as Lou. The music almost died away. Then it burst like a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes were blind with blood. The thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash, and the lust awoke to kill, and the music stopped with a crash. The stranger turned, and his eyes they burned in a most peculiar way. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat, and I saw him sway. And his lips went in a kind of a grin, and he spoke, and his voice was calm. And boy, says he, you don't know me, and none of you care a damn. But I want to state, and my words are straight, and I bet my poke they're true, that one of you is a hound to hell, and that one is Dan McGrew. Now, duck my hands, the lights went out, and two guns blazed in the dark. A woman screamed, the lights went up, two men, they stiff and stark. Pitched on his head and pumped full of lead was Dangerous Dan McGrew, while the man from the creeks lay clutched to the breast of the lady that's known as Lou. Now, these are the simple facts of the case, and I guess I ought to know. They say that the stranger was crazed with the hooch, and I ain't denying it so. I ain't so wise as the lawyer guys, but strictly between us two, the woman that kissed him and pinched his poke was the lady that's known as Lou.
That's great.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite.
I like
Robert Service